So I'm thinking about men and marriage, and I'm a bit frustrated about this at the moment because I spent 5 or 10 minutes doing a recording on this issue and found that the phone I'm using wasn't recording what I was saying. So I wasted time and I worked quite hard on what I was saying and it's all gone now. So I'm having to repeat, and I hope that I can be as forthright as I was before. So having said that, what I want to talk about is the treatment of men in the family court system. It's incredibly awful what I've uncovered. I've never realized that men were in this situation when they were married. Now, as far as I know, this applies in America and in England, but I'm simply not sure. But I believe this is the case. And the case I looked at applies in America. I don't know if it applies in England as well, but it may do. And what I found out was that a man marries a woman, and a woman has an affair, the wife has an affair with another man, and then produces a child by this other man. And apparently in law, the husband is still required to pay for that child, essentially treating that child as his own. So I found this amazing. I just can't believe that this is in place. That a wife can have an affair, have another man's child, and then the husband is still required to treat that child as his own and pay for the child's upbringing. I find that absolutely impossible to understand, and I cannot believe that it's in place. But it is. I just don't know if it's America and England, and Britain rather, or just America. But it's amazing regardless. So it's made me think about marriage in general for men. And I've concluded that it's simply not in a man's best interest to get married. It simply isn't sensible, and it cannot be justified as a good thing to do. Now, obviously, a man wants to be married to form a proper family. The desire is strong to provide for a family and to produce a family. But the law as it stands is so biased against men, so irrational, so unjustified, that it's simply not in a man's best interest to get married. So what I'm saying is that I'm married, or rather I was married, I believe. I'm not sure of the situation because I'm in a medical situation which is affecting my memory. But I'm not taking my own advice, basically. Well, I haven't taken my own advice. But it does seem to be irrational for a man to get married to a woman. It's simply not in a man's best interest. And I would say not in the best interest of the child for a marriage to take place. So I believe there's a movement called Men Going Their Own Way, or MGTOW. And I'm not sure the details of what this movement represents because I haven't looked into it. But I think it does say for men to not get married. That's not in a man's best interest to get married. And I have to say that seems perfectly legitimate and honest and true way of looking at things. So I have to believe now that men should not get married. It's simply not a sensible thing to do. It's absolutely irrational, basically, for a man to get married in today's society. the way the laws are constructed now. I berate myself for getting married, and I will suffer the consequences undoubtedly, and so will my children undoubtedly. But I made a huge error in life, but I must advise men to not get married. It's simply not in a man's interest to do that. I'm also thinking now about children. And of course, a man would generally want to have children. But in the same way that women have the birth control pill, men should have a similar way of preventing themselves being fertile and not having children. Men should be able to have sex without fear of producing a child. I don't know why men don't have this yet, but there needs to be a way for men to do this that is not a condom, that doesn't involve using a device. Men should have a pill equivalent to a woman's pill that has the same effect of preventing pregnancy. As stark as this seems, men should simply not have children. It doesn't make sense for a man to have children because they're not really his own. He's not really a father in the sense that we tend to understand what that means. He is merely a financial object, an obligation object. He does not have authority as a parent in the way the mother does. The law is incredibly unfair to men in this situation, in the situation of parenthood. So men should not have children, and there should be birth control for men in the same way that women have birth control. There should be a pill or an injection or something that prevents a man from being fertile. And there needs to be a production of such a device. So to finish, my advice to all men is to not get married. And as things stand today, you should not have children anyway. It simply is not a good idea for a man to get married and for a man to have children. So that's my advice, and obviously we can talk about the purpose of life. And the purpose of life may be to produce more life. And so it is, in a sense, saying men should deny their purpose in life. And there's an awful situation, an awful idea to contemplate, really. But it is logical for men to not get married, and logical for men to not have children. That's the way I see it, and it's the way it is in society today.